Hi everyone, I'm Sandy and welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute since I had a video out and I do apologize for that. Life got away from me over the last couple of weeks, but I'm hoping that I can get back to a more reliable recording schedule in December. I hope. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I do have a long list of videos actually planned for December, but sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't work. So, but we'll see how it goes. But for today, what I do have for you are my December reading plans. I love the month of December because I try to do a little bit of mood reading in there and pick things that maybe are not on the 1001 book list. This month is a big eclectic book list. There's 9 books officially on my TBR, but I have hopes and dreams of reading more than that. So we'll see how that goes. I always think I can read way more than I can. So I have a couple big books this month that may prohibit me from reading as much as I want. So, okay, let's get to the 9. So for the 1001 book countdown, I officially have 4 books left. My last video says I have 6. I have read 2 that I haven't talked about yet, but I have 4 books left for the countdown for December. Not too shabby. I'm pretty happy with that. And the first book is my 1001 book club pick, which will be The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky, or The Karamazov Brothers, which is how this book is. There is an interesting intro on this one from the translator of why they made that choice, that you wouldn't in normal language say the Brothers Karamazov, you would actually say the Karamazov Brothers. So we'll see how the rest of this translation goes. I did talk with Fraser Simon at Springboard Thought a little bit, and he was saying that this book is one of the best translations, or so he had heard. I'll hearsay, Fraser, if that's wrong, please correct me. But this is the book, 974 pages. It's a lot. In order to finish this kind of in the schedule that I want to finish it in, I'm going to shoot for about 50 pages a day, and that gives me a cushion of about 10 days in order to try and finish this by the end of the month. It is a big task though. So the Discord channel is all set up for this. I'm excited to have you join us. I'll leave a link in the description below for you. If you're interested in joining the read along, my schedule will be about 50 pages a day, tentatively. I know for a fact that that will change at some point along the way, but my optimistic rose-colored glasses view of it as of right now is to read 50 pages a day. All right, we're going to take a big bang in December with Dostoevsky. Woo! We can do it. We can do it if you're joining. I'm excited to have you join the book club, and I'm excited to read my first Dostoevsky. See how it goes. So the next book that I have is much shorter, thankfully much shorter, and it is Zorba the Greek by Nikos Kazantzakis. I'm not sure on how to pronounce that correctly. You will see there is a bookmark in this because I've actually already started reading this. So I anticipate actually finishing this in November. It'll be close, but I'll put it on the December TBR. So I'm very close to getting this one read, but so far it's just okay. There's a character whose last name is Zorba, who's the main character in this book, and the narrator is someone else, and Zorba only calls him boss. Hey boss, hey boss. So it's kind of a different way of telling the story for me. And so you're really learning and being introduced to Zorba in the beginning is what I would say so far. But, ooh, really good progress. Very happy that I am so far in this particular book. The third out of the 4 that I have left for 2022 is Regeneration by Pat Barker. This I will be doing as a buddy read with Margaret Pinard, and it is very skinny. Look at that. I'm very happy about that. I don't have any concerns at all about finishing this one, finishing Zorba the Greek. So 3 out of the 4, I feel pretty good about finishing the countdown in 2022 on a high note. And then we have the last book, and the last book has been on my TBR for a minute or two, a couple of months, maybe 6, I'm not sure. And it is this one. Tirant Le Blanc, that's upside down, Tirant Le Blanc. This book is one of the oldest books on the countdown, and it is one with the worst ratings on Goodreads. In order to finish this, I have to read approximately 20 pages per day, every day in December. I mean, I would love to say that that's great, and I will definitely do that. I don't have a lot of hope. So we'll see if I finish with one book left. It's gonna be this one. But yeah, I mean, I was on page 13, but now I'm on page 3 because I went backwards because I didn't remember the first 10 pages. It actually starts on page 3, so don't think I've actually read 3 pages. I have not. But this is the one, this monster book here that I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get to it. We'll see. But when I look at what else I have on my reading plans for December, and I could make some, I'm already committed to 50 pages a day for Dostoevsky. I'm kind of struggling to want to pick this one up and use some of my pages for that monster. So we'll see. It's early. It's not quite, it's early in December. You never know. Maybe I'll go on a reading binge and read it all in just a few days. That's not going to happen. But my rose-colored glasses, happy outlook, positive outlook perspective things, I could do it. I could do it. So we'll see. Outside of that, I have been participating in the World Cup Reading Challenge, which is being hosted by Mark over at Book Time with Elvis. And I have the country Australia. And I am not a huge soccer fan, but I do love these reading challenges that pick a country and you have to read a book from that country. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've done a couple other ones with Mark in that group, and it's always a lot of fun conversation and books that get picked. And so my first book for Australia, I did not get along with it right now for whatever reason. So I put it aside and decided that I'm going to read The Yield by Tara June Winch. I know I said Winch. And this is one that has been on my TBR, or been on my shelf, not on my TBR, but been on my shelf for a little while. So I'm really happy that I'm going to pick this one up. It is one I'm excited to read. I do love this cover. I've heard some really amazing things about this one, but this will be my official book for Australia. As of right now, Australia is still in the tournament, so we'll see how far they go. But Australia has lost once. They lost to France as of the time I'm filming this. So I am going to read a French book, French-ish, and the book is actually going to also fulfill one of my reading goals, which was read a nonfiction every month, and so I'm going to be reading A Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway. Yes, I have had this on my TBR no less than 3 different times in the last year. I'm going to do it. I'm going to read it. I did get the audiobook and started listening to some of it, but I'm going to go back and read it because I'm missing a ton. I don't think it's going to take me long once I actually dig into it. It's not a very long book. I just need to dig into it. I am fascinated by the references that I already caught in the audiobook with Gertrude Stein and Pablo Picasso, and just a bunch of different authors in there. Like F. Scott Fitzgerald was in there. So I am very interested in it. I don't know why I keep putting it on TBRs and then not reading it. So I really want to finish this one. That'll be my nonfiction pick. So my other reading goal has been to read a new release every single month. And for next month, I'm going to read one of my newest purchases, which is The Night Ship by Jess Kidd. I bought this one as a cover buy. I don't know what it's about, and I've never read anything by Jess Kidd. This was, it's just pretty and it feels nice, and I like the idea of a night ship, whatever that may be. And so this one will be my official new release pick, and I'm very excited to read it. But look at these pretty edges, these turquoise edges. I love that. Makes you want to put the books not this way on the shelf, but this way on the shelf. I don't have many with this with a pattern or a color on the pages. So, but The Night Ship will be my new release. So outside of that, we're getting close to the end. Outside of that, I have a work book club that we just met last week and picked a book to read over the next couple of weeks. And it's one that is a very light read and it should be good, which is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Yeah, YA fantasy, I believe, is this one. I have not read any Leigh Bardugo, though I do own Shadow and Bone. And so, yeah, we picked this one as a light read. We were looking through TBRs and Goodreads and going, seeing a lot of depressing and dark reads. And so this was one that we picked up as a funner one, so we'll see how it goes. I do love the black and the gray and the red. I think that's beautiful, kind of a cover, but we'll see how this one goes. I'm not a huge fan of YA fantasy or fantasy in general, but we'll see. There's a Netflix sticker on here, but I can't tell if this Netflix sticker is for Shadow and Bone or if there's an actual Six of Crows coming out. But so Six of Crows, that will be for my workbook club. And then I have one other buddy read that I know we had scheduled and said I think it was in December, but I haven't checked with this person. It's with Jack over at Spread Book Joy. In September, we read Lonesome Dove, and we decided we were going to read the next book, which is Streets of Laredo by Larry McMurtry, but I need to confirm with her and make sure we're really reading this one in December and kind of when, but that is my other book. So it's a big mix of books. I have a Western, I have a classic work of Russian literature, I have a new release, I have YA fantasy, I have nonfiction. I mean, it's a very eclectic and exciting month. I hope I can read them all. I do. I really do. And ideally, I would have the last week of the month just to go randomly pick things off my shelf and read kind of whatever. Yeah, it's always my eyes are bigger than my stomach kind of situation with my books, and I recognize that, but I love building a TBR and coming up with things that I might get to read this month. Keep in mind, there's some books that I had picked out for Nonfiction November that, no surprise, I did not get to, and I would love to read those as well. They sit right here. They're right there. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm keeping an open mind. Some of it will depend on how well the Brothers Karamazov goes and whether or not I decide to pick up that monster, Tyran LeBlanc. And so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But what do you have planned to read in December? Anything exciting? Are you joining the book club? I hope so. I'm very interested to hear. I hope to see you out on Discord. And with that, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone, thanks. Bye.